Hey everybody! It's Wednesday evening. It's 8 o'clock. It is I'm excited. I have some soca playing because this evening's guest is SocaMom, so I felt it very appropriate. How's everyone doing? I love that you guys love these. The messages and the emails and DMs tell me that, you know what? You don't want to necessarily want to learn anything anymore. You want to just have a conversation. You want to just hear what people have to say in a fun, just like pretend like you're in the salon. So, thank you for joining us. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm in a good mood today. How's your day going? Let me know in the comments. Of course, if you ever have any questions, let us know. Yeah, let's do this. Hello.
You know it's my song.
Let me not get sued by Cass. I can't afford it. Okay, I can't afford it, Cass. I'm sorry. Okay, I wanted to get hype. I wanted to get in the mood. I had to play soca for SocaMom. So,
hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome.
I'm good.
Okay, so I'm gonna introduce you, but you know,
my eyebrows ain't right. Hold on. I ain't checked my eyebrows before I got on here. Wait a minute. Okay.
Girl, you're out here with a big face. I'm just like, let me throw some gloss on.
We're gonna.
All right. I sees you. I sees. All right. So, for those that don't know, your actual name is Eva, but you know, you can call you Soca Moms in the streets. So, yes, drop your bio on us. Who you be? Where you be at?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Okay, so I'm Eva Wilson. On the interwebs, I'm Eva Green Wilson. That's not even that. Okay, so I'm SocaMom, and yeah, I've been doing this for 9 years now. I've been SocaMom for 9 years. I'm a wife, mom of 3. There's the mean guy back there. That's mean looking. He's actually a sweetheart. That's Evan. And that's me and my husband on this side. And the camera's not high enough to see the rest of the people. So it's Eden and David and Evan.
Awesome.
Yep. So I blog, well, I talk mostly about parenting and from through a Caribbean lens, because it is different. It's completely different. Yes.
So we will totally get into that. So SocaMom started originally as a blog.
Yes.
Do you still write, or is it mostly just pivoting into other things that we'll talk about later?
I still write. Like when it hits me, I still do write. We have this thing now, this week in West Indian parenting or Caribbean parenting on the blog. But it's also on Facebook. Most of my time is spent doing stuff for Facebook or our Facebook group. It is tiny in comparison to the Black Moms Connection. So please don't come looking for 14,000 West Indian women talking about motherhood, because that's not what we do. Okay, that's not what we do. that's not our thing. So
you're like, please don't come looking.
Yeah, don't come looking for all that, because we don't have all that. That's not what we do.
Listen. There's days where I'm just like, really? We're okay. That's fine.
Listen, I be over there. Y'all got some good. I be over there.
I open especially Thursdays. Actually, not even Thursdays, because of course I see all the posts before they get approved. I'll be like, y'all are a mess. I'm like, this is gonna be hilarious.
But it's a good mess. It is an entertaining mess, and I had to put
most of the times it's entertaining. Sometimes I'm just like, really, y'all? Like, it's a global pandemic. Have you brushed your teeth today? Like,
look, some stuff does not go away, pandemic or not.
Listen.
People got
about it. Like,
the pandemic.
Like, I just like. There's people still arguing with strangers on the internet during a global pandemic, and I'm just like, have you showered today? Like,
no, they are dirty and argumentative. No. They are mad and smelly, and they just have things to say. So let them say them. Say what you got to say, smelly lady.
Being dirty and argumentative, like
yes.
those are not like pick a struggle. You don't be both. Don't be both. Okay, so I met you when I was pretending to be a vlogger myself, and we went to Blogging While Brown.
Yes.
And then we did Blog. Did we do Blog Her at the same time? I feel like yes, but maybe not. I don't know.
Was Ray there? Because I think the last Blog Her I did, Ray was there. I don't know.
I did 2015. I was with B.
No, I don't think I did 2015. I don't know. Where was it?
It was in New York City.
It could have happened.
It was a lot. Blog Her was like, I just remember being like this. I'm
right.
Like, this is the Super Bowl of conferences. And, you know, it's so funny to be like, you know, on the, like, however many years removed that I do those kind of things. But, like, when I was there as an attendee, I was just like, this is amazing! Like, all the activations and all the random celebrities. I met Lovey for the first time. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a fan. And she's just like, oh, I know who you are. And I'm like, what? Like,
what, me? Who, me?
Right. It's so funny. So, but, like, that feels like so long ago. Like 2015 was only 5 years ago, but in the context of right now, that could have been 10 easily.
Listen, it is in pandemic terms, that's like 25 years ago.
Girl.
Because
like for you, starting SocaMom like 9-10 years ago, like that's almost a decade, and
everything's completely different now.
What platform were you using? WordPress?
Oh, girl, Joomla. Like it's not even a thing. Like nobody uses that. Nobody cares about that.
I don't even know what that is.
No.
I thought you were going to say like blogger.
What is that? No. Joomla, girl. Yeah, it's not even meant for blogging. It was just like, because I'm a nerd and that's what nerds use to do things. I used that and it was not.
It was not good.
It was not good.
The old days, R.I.P. So I also know of you to be, you were like kind of one of the OG Black mama homeschoolers. And I was always just, you know, whenever BMC moms were just like, does anyone homeschool? I'll be like, tag you. Regardless if you want to be tagged or not. And so like, obviously now we're all stuck at home trying to homeschool these children. So like, talk to me about like homeschooling before COVID and homeschooling now.
Well, the thing is, what we're doing now is not really homeschooling, right? It's because like my kids went to school this year. Okay. They went out and now they're back and it's a completely different thing because the school has given them a curriculum. They have something that they want them to do. Right. And then you have teachers, all manner of teachers that have all different schedules. And that's not how so homeschooling is like what you choose your school to be like. And nobody would choose that. Nobody would pick what's happening to us right now. Right. So you're like, girl, no. So the thing that we're doing now is schooling at home. It's not really, really homeschool, right? So the part that's missing is the choice. Okay. And it's not just, so some people are they're doing homeschooling. They said, you know what, the school year is over, but they still feel like they need to educate your children, right? So that is a choice. So you put the choice back into homeschooling, right? But when you are forced to come home and you are forced to follow a curriculum that the school has chosen and you are forced to have certain teachers, even if you are a homeschooler and you have tutors coming from different places, you have chosen each one of those tutors for their schedule, for their strengths, for their personality that works with your kid. Like you have a lot of options when you're homeschooling. This thing we have here, no. And we don't normally interact with our kids' teachers like this. Like, I don't even know you like that. Like, I see you twice a year at the, parent-teacher conference, maybe, because I be late for stuff. So I might not even see them. So, this is different. This is very, very different. The cool thing about having the choice to homeschool is that you have thought about your kid and what environment they learn best in. A lot of kids don't learn very well online. I know you've heard about David from being online, and he hates the camera. He likes to take photos. He likes to capture other people's lives, but he does not want to be captured. So when you have, like, he took that photo behind me. Aww. And this one. So he loves
talent.
Okay. So he loves the camera, but he doesn't want to be in front of it. He that's not his thing. So me as a homeschooler, I would not have chosen that for David. Right. That's not something I would have picked. My daughter does better online. So online classes wouldn't have been such a big deal for her. But that's the thing. You get to customize it to your kid. And we don't really have those options right now.
Right.
So the other element that's missing is a lot of the outdoors things that you get to do. Yes. And, going out to co-ops. I don't really like co-ops, but I mean, I participate. But, going out and getting to see their friends, because people think that homeschoolers don't have a lot of friends, but they really got a lot of friends, and they have a lot of activities and things that they do. So they're missing out on that piece of the education, right? The social piece of the education. And that's missing for everybody now. Yeah. So you're seeing kids who are from kindergarten, they're used to seeing their friends every day.
Right.
In person. You've got different kinds of kids, the touchy-feely kids who want to hug the teacher when they come in, right? They love all that interaction.
Yeah.
And they're not getting that. So, it is definitely different in the time of COVID.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned about like how it, that homeschooled kids do still have friends, because I think that that's one of the things about, there's so many myths, and I'm sure we could have like a whole session just talking about homeschooling, and what it really is and how it's defined. And, maybe I'll just have you come back and we'll have that whole entire thing. But yeah, one of the things is just like, we just assume like that they're gonna grow up weird because they're not in a classroom and they don't see people every day. And it's just like, well, no, because there's a community of homeschooling parents that, do get together and, and stuff like that. And of course, just being able to tailor, like you said, to each individual child, because, some kids are visual learners, some are, better with books than they are with the digital and whatever it is. But right now it's just like, right now it's not teaching and it's not schooling. And someone in the comments said that it's not sustainable, which it is most certainly not.
It's absolutely not.
That's why there's been so many parents and so many articles like, I quit. Like, they're just like,
it's hard. It really is hard, because this is not what I did. People ask me, they'll say, oh, it's easy for you because you've done this before. Girl, no, I have not. I have not had, because with 2 kids, I've got 12 teachers? Yeah. So when it was just me, it was me. Like, teacher meeting was me talking to myself. Like, that was the PTA.
Like, hey girl.
Like, girl, what you think? Girl, they can sleep in. Like, you can just do whatever you want to do, but that's not what we're dealing with right now. Yeah. I have 12 different personalities with 12 different schedules, and they've got their own agenda, which is not my agenda, right? So it's different, but
yeah. And it's like I think I saw a quote or a tweet. It's just like, you're not working from home, you're at home working during a pandemic, like
right?
Because like, I worked from home before this, and it was quiet. You know why? Because the children were at school and my roommate was at work. Now I'm just constantly surrounded by people, and I'm like, it's always so noisy in here. This is not what I was doing before.
It's like you can hear their thoughts. So she said, how do you have 12 different teachers? Because my kids are middle school and high school. So they have, and they're at 2 different schools. Yes. So they are very close in age, but they have the PE teacher, they have the science teacher, they have a math teacher, they have social studies. So they have several different teachers for everything. So that might not be the case if you have an elementary school person who has like a homeschool and then music and art, and that's it. But yeah, we have different teachers doing different stuff.
Yeah, because even Jackson is 7 in grade 2, and he's got his his main core teacher. And there's the phys ed, the drama, the resource / library. Yeah. So there's 4 individuals uploading things into Google Classroom right now. And I'm like, I don't, PE, like, you could just go away. Like, we're not, there's no physical education. Okay, just bye. Yeah.
Man, Eden came in and told me, I need you to print out this fitness journal. I said, on whose print are you printing the 15-page fitness? Ma'am, no, I don't. I'm not doing
Not my
that.
good ink.
No, how am I gonna get back to the Office Depot to get, no. So I said, you have a fitness journal. You own one. Write in that and take a picture and send it. No, well, we got to do it this way. See, I'm not used to we got to do it this way.
Oh, yeah, no.
So yeah, it's a talking about fitness journal.
I don't, yeah. I'm just like, do not want. So, I mean, you and I are friends, so I know a little bit about your life. But you are the mom to a burgeoning, famous young lady in your house.
And knowing me, I put that off like forever. Like, how long can I just not?
The whole thing with the pictures and the submitting, like the night.
Like, can I just not? I don't want to. These are things I don't want to do.
I know. So, despite your best efforts to not
to suppress her goals and dreams, yes,
your daughter is.
She is Miss Chicago's Outstanding Teen. So what that means is, so it's part of the Miss America system. So everybody knows Miss America, and they have a teen side of it as well that kind of feeds people into the system. So she is Miss Chicago's Outstanding Teen, and she is now going to the state competition, which has been postponed. So she will be your reigning Miss Chicago's Outstanding Teen forever.
What do you mean forever?
Forever. No, not forever. But like until they have another competition, it's going to be a hot minute. So
that's totally fine. So yeah. First of all, I stand. Because wasn't 2019, 2020 the year where we're like Miss America, Miss Universe, Miss Team USA, all Black women? We're all like, yes.
And she jumped right up on in there and said, "Me too." She said, "What?" She said, "Me too."
This is like, oh look at how representation just opens it up, and it's kind of like representation matters in so many. It's almost as if,
and it's both of them. Miss Chicago, the adult,
yes,
and Eden. They're both. Yes, it's two. It's two, girl. It's two.
Yes. So, yes. What were your hesitations? So she comes to you and she's like, "I want to do this."
Well, she's been wanting to do it for a very long time.
Okay.
My first hesitation was the thing she saw was I had fallen asleep watching Toddlers and Tiaras like 1,000 years ago, right? So she might have been 7 or something like that. And she says, "Ooh, I want to do that." And I'm like, "Girl, I'm with the remote. Girl, you weren't supposed to see that. Wait.
Where's the remote?
Where's the remote?" So she's like, she sees it as I want to dress up and be cute. Okay, so we don't necessarily watch pageants in the house or anything like that, because for me, I'm thinking as a mom, I don't want my child to be judged in that way, right? On your appearance and that kind of thing. I felt like I wanted her to be older and to be kind of comfortable and secure in who she was, so that when she walked across a stage that way, she's not thinking about how she's perceived, she's thinking about who she's presenting to everyone else, right? So rather than it be something that's on her as like a burden of this judgment, she's the one presenting herself and deciding who you're going to get to see, right? So when it came up again,
always does with kids. They're like,
right?
I forgot.
They don't forget nothing. They forget everything you told them, but they don't forget what you said.
Right.
So
right. Yes. Very important caveats. Yes.
So 13 hits, and she's old enough to do the teen competition, right? And she says she wants to do it. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, there's an application form to fill out. You should do that. Time keeps ticking. Hey, can I do the pageant? Girl, yes, you can. There's a form that you need to fill out that you should look at and get that rolling, right? Because I am not the mom who's going to push you there, because if things go left, you're going to be looking at me for the rest of your life, talking to your counselor about what I did to you and what I forced you into. And that's not good.
Made me do
she made me do. No, not doing it. All right. So comes down to the wire. And I'm like, girl, we're coming home from gymnastics. Now, this girl has a ridiculous schedule, okay? So we, after school, drive an hour to gymnastics. She does gymnastics for 3 hours, and then we drive an hour back from gymnastics, okay? So my child says to me on the way home, so when is that thing due? It's due today, right? I'm you. Who are you talking to? What are you talking about? What are we doing? Right. So yeah, she got it done that day and turned it in like a minute to spare. Like, this is happening right now.
Yikes.
Yeah. And then when she got there, I know you saw the video.
Yes.
Because
I got the weepy. I won't lie.
You know, we do believe in our kids. I'm not saying that I don't believe in my children. Okay. However, you know, she's never done this before. At this point, she had never watched a pageant on television, which means she had not watched Miss America. She had not watched Miss USA or Miss Universe or any of these things. Right. So I am throwing my child out there with no idea what's going on. So maybe that made her not as nervous. It could be that. Not sure. But, you know, she won a few awards and we were like, yay, she's not going home empty-handed. You know, we are in the participation medal part of life.
Right.
Please send them home with something.
Right.
Okay. So I said, oh, yes, she's coming home with this and the entrepreneur. Yes, this is good. So I am not going to have any problems going home with somebody. Oh, you're getting it.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Right.
Child, when they said her name, I was like, who said, what? I mean, I believe in you. I love you very much. But what did they say? I could not process. So, you know, the entire time I'm here, in the video, you're hearing me go, what? Like, excuse me?
You're like, come again?
Like, how, what? Listen, we didn't make her hair crown ready. So she had this, like, I'm talking every manner of braid going on up here, and you hear me yelling out, how we gonna get the crown over her head? None of it's gonna fit.
You went
it was so black, y'all. It was so black.
Damn it. But this is a lesson. Always have your head crown ready.
Crown ready, y'all. Crown ready. Y'all can tweet that if you want to. Always have your hair crown ready.
Listen, I mean, during a global pandemic, it's kind of easy because you just like throw it on and be like, whatever. But
right.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, kudos to you. I think one of the biggest things and lessons there is just like, you have to give your children space, and like, you made her take the responsibility. Like, you want to do this thing, you should be applying for this thing, and, you know, and supporting them and letting them try. Because nothing would be worse than if you said no outright. Yeah. And you might even had valid reasons for your fears, but I think so many times parents project their fears onto their kids. Yes. And then stop their kids from being their own people. But I'm like, they are their own people, and they have to learn. And even if she had come home and she had failed, like, that would have been a lesson for her. And like, is she gonna persevere, or is she gonna let this one first loss, like, look at Michael Jordan. I'm just like,
okay.
You know, he's still mad at his high school coach. I'm just like, sir.
That's why she had to do it herself.
To let it go.
Because they'd be mad.
Like, you ended up okay, but he's still mad.
Still mad. So, like I said, I'm not going to be the subject of your therapy session every time she made me get up there. And no, you filled out the form, ma'am. You did it yourself.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, but the other thing is, there were some things about this particular competition that I did like. Okay. And, you know, Miss America switched to more of a scholarship competition, so they don't have a swimsuit part, right?
Even for the grown-ups?
No, there's no swimsuit for grown-ups either.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, okay, so that was, so I didn't just blindly say, you know, girl, go ahead. But but they do have a fitness part, but your midriff has to be covered. Oh. So, okay, so you don't have to have abs. You don't have to have, you just have to be able to complete the tasks that they've given you. So you don't have to look a certain way.
Right.
Because we all know that you can be fit, but not look like a yoga teacher. Right. So, you know, there were other things about this particular competition that made me say yes.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it was, you know, it's kind of like when you say, do you want broccoli or do you want green beans? Like, it really is my choice, but you could pick from those two.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I'm going to switch gears a little bit because, and talk SocaMom Summit,
Yes.
which makes me very excited to talk about. So you launched the first one. Was it last month or this month? It's all a blur.
It was last month, April the
10th and 11th? 11th.
10th and 11th. Yeah, so it's exactly 30 days until the next one.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. So what is the impetus behind you wanting to do that?
So, like I said at the beginning, I've been doing this for 9 years. And in that time, I met some amazing women, you included. Thank you for being involved in the first summit. But I met some amazing women, and I wanted everyone to get to know them. So probably 90% of the people that spoke at the SocaMom Summit, I know them in some way. I've met them at a conference. We talk online a whole lot. Like there are people that I know and that I trust the information that they were going to give to everybody. So that was the first thing. But, you know, I had wanted to do it in person, right? When I had started planning it, I called the people that I know who plan these things. And I said, I want to do this thing. And you're like, girl, let's do this thing, right? And then life happened, of course, because that's what life does. And then we have a pandemic.
I mean,
so so the idea of pulling together not only all of my favorite people, but also other West Indian women from all over, that's what we had wanted to do in a nice sunny place. And we all get cute and we have cute drinks and we party and we dance and we talk and we learn. That was the plan, to do it in person.
Right.
And then, of course, the world exploded. So we did it online. And while it didn't have the same, you know, you get to hug your people and, you know, you get to jump up and wave your flags and stuff like that, it didn't have that same vibe, but it was wonderful. Like, it really, really was great. And it was wonderful getting to talk to 50 of my favorite people in 2 days. Like, how often does that happen?
That was a lot of talking for you.
It was a lot of talking, but like personally, it felt amazing, right? Especially when you're thinking anything could happen, right? Any of these 50 women could not be here tomorrow or next week or next month with what we have going on. So it felt very important for me to, you know, just get it done, because life is really, really short, especially right now.
Right. So, I mean, you already, most people who are BMC members and you know me, that I'm very much like, be the change. And, you know, I think the reason why I jumped at saying yes was because it's so, like, representation matters, and that's why the BMC Summit exists, and, well, BMC itself exists. But what I love about what you're doing is it's just like, it's putting something out there, not just for the sake of, it's just like, we have specific ways and mannerisms and things that were taught to us culturally, that we, you know, never get an opportunity to discuss, right? There's a very big difference between being, you know, a Black American versus someone from the Caribbean descent, right? And,
yes.
And even same thing in Toronto and here in Canada. And so it's just like, okay, I want to be able to bring my whole self
yes.
to the stage,
yes.
to this panel. And people who are not used to being able to, like, hear patois on a panel, you know what I mean, a serious
yes.
conversation, but then we can start talking, and it's just like when I forget the lady's name, who she brought out her guy.
Listen, when you talking about Love and Lockdown. Like, I think it was Love and Lockdown. She's from Trinidad and her husband's Jamaican. That might have been her. Because
listen,
she's hilarious.
But like that is us. That is us as a Caribbean people.
Yes.
Like, first of all, you give us an opportunity to show our flags in whatever capacity, whether it's emoji or
yes.
an actual flag. We are going to do it. And so I think it was such a beautiful thing. And especially, you know, you kind of did it before everyone really kind of figured out all the virtual content in all the virtual conferences and stuff like that. So it was also, you know, one of the first things that I was just
you're back. Sorry, we first.
That was a reminder.
Oh.
Yeah, so I love that. So the next one is when?
So the next one is June 12th through the 14th.
Okay.
And we have a lot, we're doing it a little bit differently this time. So we'll still have the free sessions that everyone gets to enjoy, and you can watch the replays later. But we also have some sessions that are first come, first serve, and then some that are application only. And some of those only have room for 6 or 7 people. They're really, really special and really important, but they're talking directly to a small audience, right? So before, it's recorded and you all watch it all at the same time and we get to comment and everything, but these are going to be smaller hosted sessions. So it's really important that you go to SocaMomSummit.com and register early so that when those sessions are open, you can jump in and either apply or make sure that you are one of the first to jump in, because and some of the things you've got to order supplies, y'all. So y'all might want to go ahead and register and get ready. Yes. Okay. So if we gonna cook, you don't need to just watch us cook, girl. You need to jump in.
Okay.
Okay. I say us, but I'm not making nothing.
When I say us, I do mean y'all.
I mean y'all.
So you're having cooking like demonstrations?
Yes, where you can jump in and you can cook. We have like crafting demonstration, not even demonstrations, but it's a class. Like we're taking offline classes that these amazing women were hosting and bringing it all online. And I'm really excited about it. Like I've been talking to these women for a couple of weeks now about the things that they want to do and the things that they want to share with you. So, but again, they want to be hands-on with you, right? So that's going to be the difference now. You'll have your free content and things like that, but we also have some other opportunities for people that want to get their hands in and get going.
I love it. I love it so much. Yes. And see, here's the thing. So I actually wrote a blog post. I haven't posted it yet. Why I'm not jumping on this virtual events train. And one of the reasons why for me is just like, because everything that we do as planners there's no way to fully translate it. And all of these virtual conferences, they're very flat, because at the end of the day, as long as I can have the ability to turn my camera on and off, I can be on my phone, I can be in the bathroom, like old girl who thought she turned off her camera but hadn't. You know what I mean? And so like you wouldn't do that at an event or in a class, right? You would just break up your phone and start changing or whatever it is that you're going to do. You have all these distractions. But what I love about what you're doing is really thinking outside the box. I'm just like, now is the time to your budget is technically unlimited, right? Like, it's as limited as technology is. And so I love the idea of these like cooking demonstrations and workshops and crafting and like making sure like, hey, I'm going to give you a list of ingredients. Y'all better be in the kitchen cooking while I'm telling you how to make this roti. Is it a roti?
Listen, I can't tell you what they're going to make. I can't tell you. But it's going to be good, and I'm excited about it. I might even make something. I don't know. But what I love about what you said is that it's flat. And, you learn from the things that you actually do. I know sometimes, like, I see one summit come out, and then I'm like, oh, wait, there's another one just like it. And then there's another one just like it. And then there's another one that's, my God, it's the same people. It's exactly like it.
Yes.
And, I feel like people are not necessarily changing and innovating because they think that the virtual conference is the innovation. But that's not all there is, Like you said, people are not going to get up in the middle of my cooking class and like take me with them to the toilet. Like, that's not a normal thing, right? I should not be listening, and like, I can't really focus on a session if I'm also like on the pot. Like, I can't pause an entire session and be like, y'all, hold on, I need to go get a snack. Like, that's not a thing.
Although it should be.
I mean, but then we'd always be getting snacks because I eat a lot. I eat a lot. So, but you know, like, it is important to try to at least, even if it's not mimicking an in-person experience, make it something new, make it something different that is, yes, it's online, but it's not the same thing they do every time they get online to go to work.
Right.
I don't necessarily want to do that every time. So our first one, you know, we got it done. We got the people talking, but this next one, we got to keep moving. We got to keep changing, and it's not going to be like anything else I've seen. So
yeah, and
we're just gonna keep it moving.
You got the first one done in like 2 weeks, so let's start there. And then like I'm excited. I'm not saying that just because I'm your friend. I'm genuinely excited because you know me. Good events gets me excited, and things that are planned well, and you know, that there's intention and thought put behind it. There's a conversation on the Twitters these days about girl boss and women's empowerment events. I
am so mad I missed it. Okay, so you have to, I don't know if you need to send it to me in the DM it to me. I don't know, but you know how bad
I'll give you a recap. So a Black woman, influencer, you know, brand strategist, you know, boss lady, she posted a screenshot of someone requesting her to be their mentor. And, you know, her response wasn't necessarily bad. It was the fact that she posted it to Twitter for clout, attention, whatever. It did not end well. She got dragged and had to apologize and, you know, whatever. And so then, and you know, Black Twitter, if anyone who's on knows Black Twitter, knows that people, if you're at the top of your game and you're doing well and whatever, people are just literally waiting in the cut. Yeah. For you to have some sort of slip up. So they'd be like, I never liked that hoe to begin with. Like, they are waiting for opportunities. And then it's just brought up all this. Because I've seen this conversation happen before, but like, just like all these girl boss events, and you're just there to get like a $300 mimosa and like a Versa pen and whatever, and I'm just like, ooh. And so of course, if anyone knows what I do for a living, it's plan events, including I've done events. One was called Empower Her, and I'm just like, I get why people are upset about them, but I'm just like, it's not the events themselves that's the problem. It's the intent of the host. Yes. And if your intent is to make money, because it has become a really lucrative thing for people to do now, then it's going to show. You're going to have all this flash and prettiness and the balloons and this beautiful decor and this pink carpet. That's fantastic. What am I learning? Right. And so for me, I'm just like, no, like I have, as I said, I've done this for one particular client who had a good 4-year run on doing their women's empowerment event. And one thing I was very, very adamant about, and it didn't matter if it was a celebrity like Karrueche Tran or Beyonce's mama, I'm just like, I want there to be takeaways for the audience. I want them to leave saying, I learned one thing that I can apply, whether it's go look this person up on LinkedIn, go download this app, implement this routine in the mornings, whatever it is. And so it's just like, okay, they left. Because for me, I take it as a personal offense if someone leaves and says, I didn't learn anything. I'm just like, but how? Right? Like, if you're leaving my event, you didn't learn anything, you weren't paying attention. You didn't go to any sessions, because I make sure that every speaker, when we onboard them and have conversations, in some conferences I do, that's like 50, 60 speakers, but every single one, they're told very clearly, I want to make sure you have nuggets and gems that people couldn't have just followed you on Instagram to get. Right. And I think that's also it too. People are paying so much money to go to these events to meet people that they already have access to on Instagram, which makes no sense to me, because I'm just like, you could just follow them on Instagram. I'm like, you know who you don't get to just sit down and have a conversation with about art? Miss Tina Knowles. Like, for me, I'm just like, I'm not playing around, right? And same with BMC Summit. I'm just like, there was so much intention behind every single panel, every single session. And so I'm just like, I get it. I totally get why people are mad about what people are spending and whatever. But I'm just like, there's an onus on the host to make sure that it's planned well, but there's also an onus on the guest to be like, why would you spend, what do you want to get out of it? Because sometimes it's not even about what the speakers are talking about. Sometimes it's just the networking.
Yeah, it's just the people in the room. They want to be in the room with certain people.
Right. And sometimes that can be valuable.
Yeah.
If
that's what you're looking for.
If you got a specific goal, you're like, listen, I want to, whatever. I want to have a picture with speaker X and post it on the gram so I can get more views. If that's your goal, cool. Just be honest with yourself about what your own goals are. But you go into this like not really sure, and then it becomes whatever. So I have a blog post in me about it because I have so much to say, but I just I love what you're doing with SocaMom.
Yeah, I don't find myself. I don't do well at women's empowerment events. I'm just going to be honest with you. So that's why I am. In Trinidad they call it a Mako. I am about to go to Twitter. I'm not going to say anything, but I am definitely going to Mako. I need to know the foolishness, because I'm not saying that I don't go because I don't need to be empowered.
Right.
It's just that, like you said, you go check them out on Instagram and you're like, but $500 though?
Right.
I can put my pretty dress on and just go by myself somewhere, or with a friend, or with my friends, and we can hang out and take cute pictures.
Yes.
So if I'm not going to be moved and changed for my, I don't want, my $1,000, because that's what it is. It's a $1,000. If I'm not going to be moved and changed by that, I'm good. Like your conferences, I went to Toronto.
Yes, you flew.
For two of them.
From far.
Okay. One time I dropped my son off in Greensboro, North Carolina for school, and my family went home to DC, and I got on a plane and went to Toronto. Okay. So that's when that you're okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's when you're about to show up for something useful.
Yes.
All right. I came as a speaker. I came as a guest. So that's when if the speakers won't attend the event as an attendee, that might not be where you need to be. You know?
Yeah.
If they're not purchasing a VIP ticket, they don't want to be with the regulars or whatever. But still,
I'm not.
If they're not purchasing a VIP ticket, is it really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that people just need to. What I hope is that people start having conversations with themselves about like, what do you want? Right? Like, I've been talking about doing this online course for like ever, like literally like 2-3 years. And I had to write out almost like, who is it for? Because I'm just like, yes, I do want the additional revenue stream. I want passive income. I'm very clear on that.
Yes.
But I also know me and my personality. I don't chase money. Money is not the predetermining factor. I've turned down clients and jobs that would have been great paying, but for places that I wouldn't have settled with my spirit. So I'm just like, right. To me, the money's not worth it. I can make more money elsewhere. So for me, I'm just like, if money is your number, and I, when I do any type of like speaking and talking to people who want to pursue entrepreneurship, I'm like, if making money is your number one reason, your first why, you need to revisit that, because you're going to be chasing something that's going to always then elude you. For me, right? And it always becomes clear when someone's doing something just for the coins.
Yeah,
always. Right? Like, I want to teach people how to do better events because bad events drive me crazy.
They're hard to endure as well.
Right. Like it's really painful to watch because I know that like if you just had the proper planning skills in place, and I'm not saying hire me all the time because some people just can't afford me, but like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. But like for me, I'm just like, if you knew to start here and follow these steps, you're not choosing between paying your rent and paying the venue for your event, right? Like, I don't want you to have to choose between paying your rent and paying the AV company who's going to want their coins. I want you to have some forethought and better planning. That is my why. And having that written down and having a clear vision for the why will just mean that like selling it will be easy. And well, hopefully, you know what I mean? Like, because it'll just be like, here is the reason why. Oh yes, that is a problem. Actually, I do want to do an event. I want to have a launch party. I want to have a women's empowerment brunch, whatever it is. I don't care, but I just want it planned properly.
Yes.
Even if I'm not going to attend, it's not about me. Well, it is about me, but like, I just want you to come out of it not broke and wondering how you're going to pay your bills because there's too many people out here doing these things. So that was I'm going to step off my soapbox.
Listen, some things need to be said, especially before I go to Twitter. And that will make sure that I don't say the wrong thing. Because I will just,
So you mentioned earlier, so this is one of the things that I want to close with. So you are of Trinidadian descent?
Yes, my mother is from Trinidad. She is from Belmont, and my dad is from Tobago. From Scarborough. Mm-hmm.
So y'all were the only carnival that basically happened in 2020.
And of course, I did not go.
I know.
I'm like, wow, that's how you're gonna do universe, world, planet. That's what you're doing. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's
I was
fine.
supposed to go to St. Lucia for carnival. And I was scrolling through my camera roll and I came across the picture of like the costume I picked and I got so sad all over again. I'm like, this coronavirus
is beautiful. Oh my goodness. I would have been miserable. I'm so very sorry. That's such a beautiful place.
I know. That's fine. It'll be there next year, allegedly. So when it comes to like, when was the last time you were home and how do you stay connected to your Trininess?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the last time I was home, it's been about, how old are my kids? I want to say 6 years. Like that, everything is in child years right now. How old am I? Okay, so it's probably been about 6 years or so. It's been a while. The cool thing about when I went, so a lot of people don't get it. When you are raised in America, Toronto, or Canada, you're raised in England or something like that, and most of your family is in the Caribbean, you don't get to see them like you ordinarily would. And it's so funny. My husband had never met any of my family other than, immediate family, my mom, my dad, my brother, like a couple of first cousins that had moved to America, but that was it. Mm-hmm. So when we went, he was like, oh my gosh, there's so many people that look like you. Like how they, like, I can see your nose and your eyes and like, oh my gosh, like that's like your tooth, like that funny tooth you got that be twisted like that. Yeah, I got that same tooth. Like it's, but for him, it's insane that I didn't see my grandmother for 20 years. Right? So, he would see his grandmother every single day, like every day. He saw his aunts every day. He saw his cousins every day. So when we went, it was like, he really could understand, oh, like this is a real thing to try to stay connected. It's hard, because he knows his family. Right. The furthest he would have to travel was Alabama from Delaware. Like that's as bad as it got. Right? That's like, I don't know, 12 hours, maybe something like that.
Like,
in a car.
I think I know where Delaware is, and I think I know where Alabama is.
It's like, so Delaware is like way up there, like 2 hours from New York. Okay. And then Alabama is like above Florida.
Okay.
Don't get me to lie. My parents didn't really do much they didn't care if I knew how America was situated. So I'm just going to be honest with you there. I don't really know.
Alabama's in the middle and Delaware's up top. Cool.
It's like low. It's like low down. I don't know. That is
You
so
don't know.
sad.
I don't know.
But they really didn't care. It's sad, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's been a long time, and I talked to my aunt today, which was really, really nice. So, you know, I have these small moments that I get to be connected with my family. My cousin is sending me masks because I have not been outside in 7 weeks. So, you know, we stay connected with family as much as we can. But as far as staying connected with culture, a lot of it is what we can find online. Because in various parts of the country, you have different levels of connection. So if someone says they're from Brooklyn or, you know, different places in New York, they have very, very tight-knit Caribbean communities. Yes. Florida, same thing. Right. Parts of Texas, same thing. I grew up in Aiken, South Carolina. Ain't nobody there, okay? There's not. So once we got to DC, there's more of a community there, but it's still not like Brooklyn. It's still not like
Brooklyn
different parts of
like
New York.
A little mini Trinidad. I was just
like, that where it snows, right? You know, like it's that. If it could snow there, like that's what it would be. So I didn't really grow up with that. So part of creating SocaMom was after I had my children, I wanted them to have an opportunity because we had, like, we would go to carnivals in, we went to Chicago, we went to Atlanta, we went to, I took them to Toronto. We've been to various carnivals and I went to several growing up, but it's still not the same. Right. You know, it's not the same, but it's something. And I think it's really important for kids now to be able to connect somewhere. You see how they have Ancestry.com and all these different ways. Connection is important. Yeah. And for a lot of people who have moved here or their family has moved here, that connection is kind of strained. So, you know, that's one of the things that was important to me when I created SocaMom. And then the SocaMom Summit just took it to another level. And I cannot wait till we can do it in person and we can cut up like we plan to.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
So in terms of the food though, like, so do you cook the doubles and the Trinity foods is? Okay. That's all I got. So, doubles.
Side, because I have asthma, so I'm vulnerable population. Right. She brought me yeast to make my
nice. That's
a true friend. Isn't that beautiful?
That's a true friend.
She's Trini. So like that's the kind of community that I was trying to build online and offline. Like it's just, I mentioned in the group, you know, I want to make bake. I can't because everybody and their mama's out buying yeast and everything. I can't do it. And she's like, girl, where you stay at? I'm downstairs. I got yeast. I'm like, what? Like, that's love right there. That's the kind of love that I want our community to.
That's how we used to be. That's how it used to be. Like, you know, and just like all these things. Yeah, I hope that like some of the good things that have come out from this COVID shutdown, quarantine-ness, can continue, that we are like, we're kind and we value people that we didn't want to pay minimum wage to, and all these other things. So, all right, well, where should people follow you on these internet streets?
Okay, so I'm on Twitter. That's where I'm about to go now. Tobacco and be nosy. Okay. So I'm on Twitter at SocaMomDC. Okay. So please do not at SocaMom because she's probably tired of getting my messages by now. Okay. So it's SocaMomDC. And on Instagram, it's SocaMom. On Facebook, it is SocaMom. If you want my personal page, SocaMom.com, spelled out DOTCOM. If you want the page, and then you can see the groups that we have under there. We have a book club, and then we have our SocaMom group. Now, I'm going to warn you about the SocaMom group. Like I said, it's not Black Moms Connection. It is a small group of people who are slightly cranky, and they probably will not invite you. So you can try to come through if you like to, but yeah, you've seen how they act, right?
I know, and I love it because it very much, I'm just like, when we're all like 20 years from now, we are the old ornery aunties, and I'm
yes,
so excited.
That's what it is. It's a group of West Indian aunties, and if you don't think you can manage that,
don't
just don't.
What are you guys reading in your book club? I didn't know you had a book club.
So we are looking at. We haven't read anything like in a long time. I think the last one we did was Till the Well Runs Dry.
Okay.
Lauren Francis Sharma.
Okay.
But she just yesterday. I want to say it was yesterday. Her book is now available on Amazon. The Book of the Little Axe.
Oh.
And it's okay. So I ain't gonna ruin it for y'all. But it's just showed up on Amazon, which means you can go order it and we can all read it together.
Okay.
I got my copy a while back. It is literally like Wild West and Trinidad all mashed together. Like, what?
I'm intrigued.
Listen, we got Indians, we got everything. Indians from American, like Native Americans. It's crazy.
Interesting.
So that's what we're doing right now. And in the group, we're just talking trash about everybody and Popcorn not having any hair anymore. Like, what are you doing?
People calling him Popcorn Colonel after his hair is just so rude and Caribbean, and I love it.
And it's like, you can't even be mad because it's just shady. So yes, we're a group of your shady West Indian aunties.
I love it.
Come through if you dare.
I love that if you dare. All right, well, I'm gonna play you out with a tune. Because, you know, I want the other person from Trinidad to come after me, but I do what I want. Don't own the rights to the music. Don't fire me. Because it is very much you.
Can I catch that? What is that? Wait, hold on. Yes! More than you! I love it! Yes! Like a girl boss. I am so going to Twitter like right now.
It's so funny because I said to my roommate, I'm like, I actually haven't listened to a lot of soca because it hurts my feelings that there's no fest anytime soon.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I just want to be in a corner just on somebody's son. Just unruly. But that's not happening anytime soon. And I'm not doing that with a mask on. So, like, the next time I go to a fete, I'm going to have no behavior. Like,
well, they already said you can't run with that mask on. So, everybody who's planning to have this thing matching their costumes is going to be passed out somewhere. So, just understand. You can't get out of breath in there. You go fall out.
Girl, yes, I don't want to die. I just want to play. I just want to play mass and just wind up my waist. And
but you know, the Caribbean countries are doing very, very well.
Yes.
With COVID, they're doing really, really well. And my aunt said that they still have their 6 o'clock curfew, so they are still you can still get your doubles on the street if you must.
Right.
But people are staying home.
They're just. She said, if you don't have cereal, eat crackers. And I felt that in my chest. I was like, you know what? I don't need to go outside for cereal. I will eat the crackers in my country. I love that so much.
Listen,
they are taking care of people in a way that only a Caribbean auntie could.
That's right. And they're taking care of it. So we might have carnival before you know it. The problem is, you'll get to go. But will they let people coming from America in? No, they're not going to let me in. They're not going to let me on the plane. I'm going to be in quarantine for 14 days and miss the whole thing.
I'm sorry.
But party for me. Okay.
Well, we'll throw up. You know what you should be doing is you should be throwing Zoom soca bets. SocaMom. Okay.
See, we might have to make that happen. We might have to have a soca brunch. We're going to talk about it.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for hopping on.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
I love seeing your face. And
I love seeing your face.
That was so fun. And now I'm gonna go steam up my room listening to Masha Montano. Zoom
Yes. Yes.
There it is. Bam. I'm gonna go daddy right now. Buy it.
Go. That's what a girl boss would do. She would go make it happen.
right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And I will see you next Wednesday at 8.
Next
I think we're talking weed. I think we're talking weed next week. I'm very excited. It's going to be